What happens when leadership is driven not by ego, but by love? When two women, both fierce competitors and compassionate mentors, choose to lead with heart, humility, and history behind them. Welcome back to The Real Room. I'm your host, Lucretia Mitchell, and this is a place where we don't just tell stories, we peel back the layers and get to the soul of what really matters. Today, we're diving into a conversation that honors more than just the game, it honors the journey. Two coaches, two powerhouses, two women who've dedicated their lives to shaping young girls, not just into athletes, but into leaders, into women who know their worth, their voice, and their strength. One has returned home to a place that helped raise her, stepping into a role that she was born for. The other continues to make her mark at one of the state's top programs and consistently proving that excellence comes when you lead with love and vision. They are sisters in spirit, champions in the eyes of their players, and living proof that when women support each other on and off the court, the impact is generational. This isn't just about basketball. This is about legacy, alignment, and the beauty of passing the torch while still running your own race. Let's get into it. We're in the real room. Welcome, y'all.
Hi.
I'm so excited to have y'all. Okay, introduce yourselves real quick.
You want me to go first? Okay. I'm Katie Bass. I'm the head girls basketball coach at Mustang. I have 3 children. My son Keegan plays football at Air Force. My daughter Cameron is at UCO. She sings worship at her church. Chloe is a 7th grader at Mustang Middle School. And yeah, that's about it. That's me.
I'm Toya. I am now the head girls basketball coach.
Yes, you are.
Millwood High School. I have one son. He's 4. Taven Bowie. He loves football, monster trucks. Yeah, and that's about it. That's me.
It's crazy because I think back to when we all first met and just being around each other. You having your first kid, like it's just crazy how
right.
time flies. Like to know that he's 4 and then our kids are
Well, me and your
pretty
kids
much
are like the
grown.
same.
Yeah, like it's crazy to me. Okay, so all of my guests do this, so we're gonna do this or that
Okay.
before we dive into there.
Okay.
So this or that, you just pick one option that is mainly your preference. Okay,
Okay.
so let's go with night owl or early bird.
Night owl.
I already know.
And I'm early bird.
Night owl.
She like, don't even look at me.
There's a certain time of the day she knows not to call me because I'm asleep.
Okay.
So
Okay.
And she know not to talk to me
in the morning. When she walks into morning practice, it's like,
Don't say nothing.
don't say
Zombie.
nothing.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get on into it. We've been talking about it since we've been sitting here.
Okay.
What are y'all gonna do without each other now that you are leaving Mustang, going to be the head coach of Millwood, and you are the head coach of Mustang? What is that feeling like right now?
Right now, I mean, I've processed a lot I think over the last couple weeks. I mean, there's been a lot of highs and lows and just, I don't know, unknowns, I guess. The best way I can explain it, which I tell everybody this, when you have a person in your life for 10 years and they do life with you every morning, every day, you know, you plan, you talk, we even do things together, like outside, like, you know, our kids, she comes to my house, Tay Tay swims. I mean, we just do so much together. It's almost like you're getting a divorce because, I mean, that's the best way I can explain it. So it's like you're losing your person. And so it's like your security blanket, your everything, if that makes sense. And so then it's like, what do I do now? I don't know. And I'm trying. I mean, I'm finding it. I mean, it's fine. It's always been there. I did it before her. I mean, before she came, but it's just, I don't know. It just feels, I don't know, blah.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know.
Same for me. It was it was weird waking up and not driving the Mustang today. Yesterday was the last day of school, and it normally, like normal last day of school, I'm like, I gotta get up out of here. Like I'm gonna be here anyway all summer.
Yeah.
But it was like I didn't, like, it took me forever to leave Mustang yesterday because it was like this is literally the last time that like I will step foot like in this building. Um Obviously I'll come back to games and to the gym. I said, but it's just one of those things where it's uh I don't I don't get close to people a lot, right? And she's definitely one that I'm close to, and it's kind of one of those things where she said like a security blanket, my comfortable, and now I'm walking into the unknown, and it's just, it feels weird. It really does. It feels weird, and I like don't want to overdo it, early, like, call every 5 seconds, like, what you doing? Where you at? What you doing? Why, like, why? How's practice? Like, how's tryout? Like, I'm asking all these questions. I'm like, okay, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
But it's just like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, we're always gonna be there outside of basketball, but like the basketball part is just gonna be the roughest part because we literally did everything together. So.
Yeah. No, I honestly didn't realize it was 10 years. Like, so Midwest City is where the journey starts. So let's give the folks some context, okay? So everybody knows that was our first encounter.
Yes.
I didn't like her at first.
No, you didn't. I know that. And I know that. And I know that very well. That's okay. Every parent says that about me.
Did not like you at first, but rough. Now I love you.
Yes, I know.
Dearly.
I love you too.
That was
so
rough.
you came in as the head basketball coach at Midwest City. What year?
2015, 2016, because I won state in 2016, so I started in 2015.
Okay. And so, and then were you there at the same time? Okay. When did you come?
A year after.
A year after. Yep. Okay. And then my daughter, just to help them, played at Midwest City and came in, I guess it was, 2 years after that? Or a year after that?
So
2 years. 2 years after
so
that.
They were in 7th grade, yeah.
So you became head coach for my daughter, and we did not. Yeah, that was a doozy. I was like, Toya.
Everybody did.
Listen, Toya. I remember those conversations, and I was just like, okay, let me call you back. Let me call you.
Yeah, but I don't know what it was. I just started. I think it was actually me becoming, because Chastity ended up having to leave. I ended up becoming the booster president. And so I think I gained, because we had to talk more. And so I just gained a level of respect for you in that sense. And you really kind of put me in my place a couple of times when it came to just the level that my daughter was at the time. Yeah. Right. And so it was a hard situation for me, but it was definitely needed. And so I just want to publicly say I appreciate you for giving me grace, because I was like, I was telling Chop, like, I'm gonna hurt her.
I know. It's hard as a parent because you want so much for your child, and you know what they, are capable of. But coming in as a freshman is so different, and you want them to be the star as a freshman. And almost every parent I have feels the same way about you as freshman parents. And it's just hard for them to like, just please trust me. We got 4 years.
Yeah. So what was that feeling like, winning the state championship coming into your first year?
That was a pretty crazy year to begin with. Any challenge that anybody probably could go through as a head coach, I went through that year. So emotionally, spiritually, even physically, it just put a huge toll on me. Yeah. Because I wanted to be successful, and I wanted to do well, and I wanted, these girls to, because they had gotten to state the year before without their head coach. And then I knew what talent I had in front of me. And so, I remember just begging God, like, what is it that, you need from me, and crying and breaking down several times. And that state championship game, I'll never forget it. After the game ended and everybody left the locker room, I just broke down in the middle of the locker room, cried, and told God, okay, this is what you want me to do. Because I always kept telling myself, this is not what I want to do. I don't know if I'm strong enough to do this.
Yeah.
This is harder than I thought. And, again, it goes back to having strong, loyal type assistants with you, like she is. And I had that some, but not in others. And so I just felt like I was on an island by myself, and that was hard. But God really just told me, like, this is what you're destined to do. And so, so I just smiled, laughed, and just said, okay, God, I hear you. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Toya, you and I go back from, I believe, somewhere down the line, we're family some kind of way.
Some kind of way.
But how the respect I have for your sisters and how much I love them. And then we got to really start interacting with each other, not only with Midwest City, but then AAU basketball. And so just tell me, you coming into a championship team, what was that experience like? And did y'all click right off the bat? Like, what was that like?
Well, it was kind of crazy because when I left Millwood the first time, I obviously knew that, Millwood City had just won a state championship, but I didn't know her. And when I was looking around trying to find something different, I saw the opening, the post on, on the website. And I think I hit up one of her former assistants at the time, because I knew who she was. And I was like, hey, you think, tell me about her, yada, yada. She's like, oh, no, it should be good, And I'm like, okay. And went to the gym, interview with her. And then, like, after the interview, she tried to give me a hug. And I'm like,
I will never forget that. I will never forget that.
Why are you trying to hug me?
She did this weird side hug. And I was like, well, thanks for coming. And I'm like, okay,
yeah. She was like, well, thanks for coming. And I was like, lady, I don't
do that.
I don't even know
you.
And so she was like, okay, well, let me know. Or I'll let you know. Like, I was like, okay.
She was like, okay, this lady's weird.
Yeah. And then, it was just one of those things where, I was just looking. I was looking for, someplace to be, because I knew, coaching was what I wanted to do. I didn't want to find anything other than coaching basketball. And so she called me and was like, hey, I think I'm going to hire you. And I was like, okay, cool. Great, let's do it. And then I think it was like summertime. And so we had a camp, and it was just kind of one of those things where it was, I don't know. I think we clicked.
Yeah.
From jump, worked well together. And then, obviously 9 years after that.
Yeah, right. Here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah. Okay. So there's one question I definitely have to ask y'all. Okay. So and I want to make sure that I get this right, because I think it's so important. You both come from, well-respected families, right? Your dad is well known from Emmett Santa Fe. Your sister, yourself, just your abilities that in the success that you guys have had within Oklahoma, and just being able to go to college for that. What does that feeling of having these well-respected people that you're following behind, what does that pressure feel like? Or was it pressure, should I say?
You can go first on that, because I think both of our pressures are different.
Well, for me, I'm the baby, right? And so Shiloh's 8 years older than me, and then Keisha is 6 years older than me, right? So growing up, I was always little to Shiloh, depending on if I was talking to her classmates, right? Or little to Keisha, if I was talking to her classmates. And I'm like, no, my name is Toya. I have, I'm saying, like, I have my own name. But the younger me, I just roll with it, right? Because, those are my idols. I looked up to them because, they were so much older than me, but those were still people that I looked up to, even though they were my sisters. And so I think it was more so of just trying to be who they were, in a different way. obviously Shyla didn't play basketball,
Right.
but Shyla was still involved in everything,
Yes, she
cheerleading,
was.
whatever the case may be. And so I wanted to be like that. And then obviously coming behind a sister that has broken records, Hall of Fame, it's kind of like it was hard in a sense on me in high school in particular because you don't you play like your sister. I got that question. I got
Yeah.
that question a lot before people even ever saw me play.
Yeah.
If you play like your sister, you can hoop. I'm like, I mean, we have some same qualities, but I think I do
Yeah.
my own thing.
Mhm.
And I think that's why I went so far away for college. I went to Kansas originally, my freshman year, and then I went to Georgia,
Yeah.
just to kind of branch out on my own and make my own name.
Yeah.
Not that following in my sister's footsteps was a bad thing, but I kind of wanted to branch away from that.
Yeah.
And so I mean, even my mom, you know what I'm saying? Like even my
Yeah,
mom,
her
my mom knows
everybody knows
everyone.
too, mama.
My
Yeah.
mom knows everyone. Everyone knows too, mama.
Baby.
And so, you know what I'm saying? And so, they set the foundation of, just um, how to, for people to like you. But at the same time, it was just kind of one of those things where me being the baby, having to always live in those shadows. I mean, it was difficult growing up. I appreciate it now because I understand, like,
Yeah.
I'd rather try to follow those footsteps than somebody else, or have no footsteps to follow.
Come on. Yeah.
That's good.
That's good.
That is good.
Yeah. What about you?
I think mine is different in the aspects of like my dad's the reason I started, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he gave me the tools at the beginning. Like he hired me fresh out of, well, I was kind of still in college to be the freshman coach, and he helped me get my first job at, US Grant as a head coach at 26. I mean, that's young.
Wait,
And
you were the head coach at US
that's
Grant?
where I started.
I didn't even know
I was
that.
26. I was the head coach.
Wow.
It was
Okay.
probably the most reward. I loved it. I loved
Yeah.
it. It taught me the most about being a fundamental coach because
Yeah.
that's what you got to work on. But my dad has like hung his hat on helping the next generation of coaches, and he's always trying to do that. And now I find myself now doing the same, and I love that part of it. I have coaches like every day, like even today, calling, asking me about my summer league and how I run it and how do you do this. And I love sharing, and I will do whatever I can to help anybody and everybody if they just ask. But I think the pressure wasn't really from like my dad. It was put the pressure on myself to be and put myself at the highest standard of what I, thought of him. And I wanted to make sure that, I was being successful, I guess, whatever that looked like, not necessarily winning is just success, but how you value yourself and how you look and how you help your players and your assistants and your whole program. And so really it made me who I am, and the pressure actually is always good for me, somebody like me, because I need that, or I'll just get kind of comfortable.
Complacent. Yeah. Yeah. How do you balance motherhood and coaching, and what lessons have you had to teach yourself in order to lead others well?
Let me go first. Okay. This is probably the hardest thing. Because you might mean my kids are gym rats. I mean, I remember Keegan and Cameron just like running up and down the bleachers. I'd have random parents, watch them. Chloe's in and out of people's purses. I mean, trying to ask people for money to go to the concession stand, and so they are just, my kids grew up part of my players' like lives too. So they felt like they were, have always been a part. And I've had to do that because majority of pretty much my entire adulthood, my kids, I was a single mom. And so that is hard because you got to be able to pour into your own children, and you have to be able to pour into your players and students too, because we're teachers too. And so you find yourself neglecting one or the other. And that is the hardest thing to balance. I've done a lot better, I feel like, with Chloe, obviously. But I don't know, you just have to be okay with telling yourself that you're doing a good job, right? Even though we I don't know, we would just always second guess. Are we doing a good job? Should I have done more with, Keegan and Cameron in this area? Things like
Are
that.
they going to resent me for, time away, that kind of thing? Yeah.
And you just have to, and I think, what was the second part of that question you asked? You said,
where did I go?
Sorry,
Now
you
we've
said
lost.
something
This
about-
is the real room, unedited,
Yeah.
unscripted.
Sorry, you said-
What lessons have you had to teach yourself in order to lead others well?
To give myself time to pour back into myself.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, especially, like a lot of people don't know, I got type 1 diabetes in the middle of me coaching at Midwest City. And that really taught me to slow down and put myself first and care about my health and care about, the way I feel. Because if my cup is not full, I can't give to others. And so, especially as a female, and you have to constantly, in leadership, constantly look like you have it all together. But it's okay to let people know that you don't.
Yeah.
So they know you're real, and they know that they can be not okay also.
Yeah.
Especially my kids, my own children. But I mean, that's probably all I got there.
I mean, for me, Tay's 4 years old, right? And so he's pretty simple, pretty easy. I did have him during COVID. And so
Yeah.
it was one of those things where, do I continue to coach or, take off and, take care of my child during COVID? And like the same thing when he was a baby, when he was a little baby, I would have to go leave, leave school.
Is he sick or
go pick him up from, daycare, whatever the case may be, bring him back out to the gym in time for, the game. I would have one of our girls' parents, hey, I would call her hey, I got my baby today. Can you please hold him? Can you please hold him during the game? And she would be like, absolutely. And so I think, and now that he's school age and, playing sports of his own, he's in basketball, football, he wants to do all those things. Just making sure that I make time. He's a ball of energy all the time. And when I get home from practice, Taven, I don't want to play monster trucks.
Yeah.
Tay, I don't want to play football.
Yeah.
I don't. I just want to sit and, watch TV.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to do that because he ain't seen me all day.
Yeah.
Right. And so I have to find that balance. Okay, Taven, we got 5 minutes. Okay. And he's happy with those 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I have to understand, okay, give him something. Because, you give all yourself to your students, you give all of yourself to your players, you give all of yourself to your job. And when you're in that type of profession, your kids do, they miss out on those things. So just finding that balance, I would say is helpful.
You brought it up, just pouring into yourself, right? It's hard, I think, just in general, especially as women, mothers, all the roles that we play, right? Or hats we wear, should I say. When do you find time and how do you pour into yourself? Because if you don't, then how are you able to give the way that y'all give to these young women, right? So how do you pour into yourself?
Well, I enjoy working out.
Okay.
And so I have to find time for that. It's usually during my plan or in the morning or during lunch or anything that I can to get in just even a small workout. Also, my time with God is very important.
And speak on it.
And so I have to find that time daily. If I don't, then I just don't feel right. And so those are the two probably main areas that I give back to myself. And it's really the only time I have. I don't have time to go get massages or facials. I would love to. I would love to. I mean, in the summer, I do a lot more, obviously. It's hard during season. I always talk about, I don't always feel like I gain weight a lot during season. And then after, I can get back into a routine and things. But, my time with God is very, very important. It keeps me grounded and it keeps me close to him. And, when things are rough or even when things are good, I have to understand and continue to keep that relationship as strong as I can. So that is my main, why I'm here today, to be honest, and able to even talk to you and
come on,
so
yeah.
That's probably,
mine would be church as well. Sundays are kind of like my reset button for the week, because I know Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday, really,
You
because
going.
kid got a game, nephew got a game, somebody got a game,
Yeah.
right? And so Sundays are my rest and relaxation time. After church, I go to church every Sunday.
Yeah.
And then I would probably say music. Um, I have my headphones in a lot.
There she does.
She used to hate it. She's like, "I'm trying to talk to you. Have you heard anything I said?"
And she just
I'd be
sit there
like,
and said, she
yeah.
didn't listen to nothing I just said.
I'd be like, "No, I'm
I hate
sorry."
headphones.
But that is my tune out the world, and just like I just listen to I love listening to music. And so I'm in my car, unlike her when she in silence, like that is my, like, music is my piece. Like,
Yeah.
when I'm driving home and like I gotta play some R&B or something, like I gotta listen to music. And so
That's good. Isn't it?
that's kind of, that's kind of my pour back into myself.
Yeah, that's good. I think it's so necessary for us to do that. And I think a lot of times we can neglect ourselves, and then it gets to a point where we like, oh God, what's wrong? And it's like, girl, you about to crash out because you
Right.
ain't taking the time to pour into yourself. So I think it's so important, especially in the field that y'all are in, because y'all are dealing with different personalities, different moods, right?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day it's something.
Right. You probably get fussed out by parents,
Oh, yeah.
all of the things. And so how do you not take that energy? Because I can only imagine. Like, I was just around y'all in that space as the booster president, but just in being in basketball, like the parents and the attitudes of the girls, how do you not take on that energy and then push that onto your family or your kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's hard.
It is
you know?
hard. It is hard because, like I said, like with Tay being so young,
Yeah.
right? He is go 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 go, right? And if something didn't go right at work or practice, or you know, uh, we just lost the game, or somebody parent tripping on Twitter
Yeah.
or Facebook,
Whatever.
or
Yes.
whatever,
Jesus.
like whatever social media platform that they use, is hard to like not snap back at your
Yeah.
child, because that, and so um taking a deep breath, I
Mhm.
guess, and not in understanding that it is a part of the job.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, no matter what you do as a coach, you're never going to make everybody happy. And you know being an assistant for so long, I did not get the, like, I
Brunt
guess,
of it.
like the brunt of it,
Yeah.
right? Like I didn't get it,
Yeah.
right? She got it, and I was able to kind of tell her, like,
Yeah.
forget them people,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like, who cares? Like, why do you care?
Yeah.
Right? And that's just my mentality. Period. Like,
That's why I wish I was more like her.
I
in
don't
that.
like I don't care what you talking about.
Yeah.
To me, like, that don't matter. That's just my mindset and mentality. Period. But it's just kind of one of those things where you just kind of gotta take it and just brush it off your shoulder, really,
Makes you
because it
tough.
ain't. Yeah, it ain't. I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah.
Because it's always
always gonna be
it's
there.
always
Yeah.
gonna be there.
I know that was like when we were at Midwest City. I know that was one of the hardest things for you. Like, and I would hear the things being said. I would get a lot of it too, because I'm dealing with the parents, right? And I'm just saying in general, as coaches, how are you today with that? Because I know it bothered you a lot then. What is that like now? Because I hear you say you wish you were like that.
I think I was more like, it's not that I care as much. I think it's more just like the relationships that you create with some of these people. And then they're so quick to turn on you so fast without knowing, I guess, the entire story, even though that doesn't, I guess everybody's perspective is always going to be different.
Yeah.
The last couple years, I think it's really, I don't allow it to affect me like I used to. And it's one of those things that you just have to accept. It comes with the job. Like, it's just part of it. Somebody's always going to be unhappy. Somebody's always going to be upset. And you have to just let it go and know that one day, hopefully, those tides will turn and that person will start to see the truth of who you are as a person, and as a coach. Like, and I think that part, um, when I come home now, I try not to even like think about basketball, so that I can just be present in the moment with my family. And then deal with it when I get to work, because when I bring it home, I just take it out on everybody else, and it doesn't really help anybody, and it doesn't help me. And so I again, I just give it to God now. So you take care of it. So
my thing now is like, before I even go in the house, I'll just sit in the car. Like, no music, nothing. I'm just sitting there, just processing the day. And I think it's so important for us to be able to have those moments. I feel like that's self-care for sure. And so I think it's so important to have those moments so that we're not projecting that stuff that we had to deal with, that cussing out we just had to get onto the people that love us the most and don't deserve it, right? So now sometimes they may deserve it. No, I'm joking.
I know.
A lot of the time,
right. All right. So, what did little Toya and Coach Bass sitting in the gym as a player, because y'all both used to play, need to hear from the woman you are now?
Can we go first? I can go first. I have that answer, but you go if you want.
You owe it to yourself.
Good one.
I think even as a player, I felt like that I always kind of took the safe route, right? I always wanted to make the right play. I always wanted to, be perfect in my shooting, whatever the case may be. And then that kind of projected on to life after basketball. Always just taking the safe, the safe road, the safe route. Not really taking a chance because of the fear, I guess, of disappointment, the fear of failure. And so I'm like, okay, if I can do this, I can predict maybe what's going to happen down the road, and I'll be okay. And so her now, right, would say you owe it to yourself to take that chance, to take that risk.
And you have.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
I'm so
Look
proud
at
of
you.
Just go for it.
you.
Come on.
Yeah, I love it. I say this all the time to my players, and I think it's like my testimony in life, but I always say your value comes from who you are and not what you do. So when I was younger, I didn't know anything, but I was a basketball player. So my value and how I feel about myself came in my performance. So if I had a good game, then I felt good about myself. If I didn't have a good game, then I didn't feel good about myself. If I didn't feel like I was meeting the expectation that my father had on me or my family or anything, I felt like a failure. And I never really understood that there was so much more to me than just being a basketball player or a coach's kid or a brother and a sister. There's so much more that I have to offer. And so I didn't realize that until my late 20s. And I made a lot of, choices I probably shouldn't have based on making sure everybody else around me was okay.
Yeah.
And once I realized that the value in who I am should never change, right? Because I should be proud of that, not on my performance, to be proud of yourself and to know that people, the real people that really know you and are loyal to you will always see that. And be true to yourself and don't change for anybody.
Yeah.
And so I wish I would have told my little self, somebody would have told me that when I was little. But that's why I tell all of my girls to this day, like even as seniors, I look at them in their face and I say the same thing. Your value comes from who you are, not what you do.
Yeah.
So
they've gotten so good to where they can finish the statement.
Right.
They do. I have
like we know it.
And I do. I say
know,
your value
like,
comes from. I always, it's just, I don't know. I just want to make sure that they feel that and know that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll say, well, who are you? And I'm a bastard. No, that's what you do. Who are you?
Yeah.
Right. And so when you can dig deeper in teaching, adolescents that they can start to really, like themselves, I think, or find who they are.
Yeah.
So
that's why I love both of y'all.
We love you.
Listen, because even when I didn't quite understand you, I knew one thing, that you loved them girls, right? I knew that it was bigger than basketball for you. And your biggest thing was trust the process,
Yes.
right? GID, get it
Yes,
done, all of the
yes,
things. Like I
GID.
remember all the things,
Yes,
okay?
you
And so that's what I loved about y'all, because even now the impact and the influence that y'all have on even our girls' lives that are now, you know,
20 plus years
20
old.
something years
I still
old,
remember
getting
Monty.
married, all the things now. Ain't that
Oh,
crazy?
that's crazy.
But it's a testament truly to y'all being invited to them things, them still talking with y'all, texting, coming to your games. Like, it's a testament to the impact that y'all had on their lives. And so I want to say, because they ain't here, thank y'all.
I love them.
Thank y'all so much, because for a mother to know that not only are you coaching my child, but you also got the best interest. That's I think that's when I really earned the respect for you. And then we was talking like, girl, did you know?
I know.
Boo, boo,
And
you
then
know,
I'm
like,
taking your daughter to
yeah,
school
then you
every
taking my daughter.
day.
Hey,
I was like, we went from you hating me to I'm dropping her off at your house.
Like my daughter's with you all the time, like all of the things. And so I know y'all may not get that a whole lot, but y'all are definitely making an impact and an influence on this next
Thank
generation,
you.
and it's needed. And so, I know it can be hard sometimes, but don't stop. Don't give up, and y'all are appreciated. That's
Well,
all I
thank
gotta
you.
say.
I
Okay.
appreciate
Y'all are
that.
appreciated.
Thank you.
All right. So another question. In the wins and losses, what moment as a coach has brought you tears, whether proud or painful?
A lot of those moments happened this year for me. I was a lot tougher this year on my girls than, I probably said at Mustang, period. I always said, you're going to bring back the Midwest City coach out on y'all. But to watch it full circle, and all the things that, she brought stuff in, for even preseason. Like, we were trying to get them to be mentally tough and learn how to fight through adversity because, they're dealing with all this other stuff. Anyway, to watch it just come all together and in that state game. And I remember, I ran a play and Eliana made a 3. And I have never coached in a gym with that amount of people. And I remember the entire gym screaming. And I had a moment of, I'm really coaching in the state championship game. And I'm in a gym. I feel like a college coach right now, because they were I have never, there's a picture of us that I actually printed for her and she put it in her office. I actually got her thing where it's a picture of us from our very first game together to our last. And I put it in a frame in her office. I know, I'm so... Anyway, in the background, you can just see the amount of people. And it was just this moment of, I don't know, like accomplishment, I guess. Not that, obviously we didn't win it, but it didn't feel like that, I think. And to do it with her, for all the ups and downs that we've been through, was just like a great moment. I don't know, that would probably, right now, is probably one of the best moments I think I've been in a while. So I did. I was like, it was happy tears, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
On the same thing as her. This year was by far one of the the best year, and not just because we made it to the state championship game. Obviously, you want to be playing on the last day,
Right?
For basketball, but it was just one of those things where when we got to Mustang, we wanted to create a culture of the competitiveness, the grit, the grind, just showing those girls that it's gonna take a lot more to get what we want, and how she wanted to play as a head coach. I think it took them a while to understand how hard it is that they had to play, how hard it is that they had to work. And so just to see that come, like she said, full circle, was like, we finally did, we did it. Like, it's like, and I think the the moment for me was in the semifinal game. She actually has that picture too.
I did. I printed
where
it and
I
put it in.
literally like turned around. I just gave her a hug.
She hugged me.
I don't hug, right? Like I ain't
right.
like
That ain't you.
That's
like, you
she
know what I'm
didn't
saying?
hug
Like
me in the interview,
like-
but she hugged me now.
right. And like I just turned around and she was just standing there, and I think she just had her
I
hand
did,
like
because
over
I was
her
like,
head.
we're going to state championship.
And
game.
I just like gave her a hug. Somebody take a picture of it, like like real quick. And so I was just like, Coach, like we really did it.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a satisfaction.
Yeah.
Because we wanted it for so long, and that was one of our goals, and to actually reach that goal and to have our girls see that, it was just one of those moments where like, whew,
Yeah.
like all the hard work that we put
paid off,
into
yeah.
it really paid off, because people can work hard and they
Yeah.
never get to ever where they want to go. Like, and to see that, it was kind of like this is crazy.
Mhm.
Like, this is crazy. And so that was the moment for me. Actually, the semifinal game was like, we really going to the state championship.
Yeah. Y'all's story is just remarkable, and just how it's evolved over the years. Knowing all of the things, because as people, we can get, comfortable where we're at, right? What was in the moment where you were like, I'm going to apply for this position? And did you tell her?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Because y'all, I mean, you talk about the success. Like y'all went to the state championship game. Like somebody would be like, I'm not leaving that. Like, I want to accomplish that. Like, that was a goal.
Right.
What made you say now?
Well, it was one of those things where the job became available, right? And even before it was posted, people were sending it to me. Like, well, people were telling me that, hey, the job's going to be available. We need you to apply. My response was like, no, like, we're still in season.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not thinking about that, like, at all. And I would, just blow them off. And then once the season was over, it was spring break that next week. I was just kind of really sitting there, and I felt like going back to Millwood, I could make a change. I didn't have a single reason to leave Mustang.
Yeah.
Not a single one. So taking the job wasn't about leaving Mustang. It was about, I guess, I don't know, creating my own legacy, owing it to myself.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
to take that risk. Because Millwood, I think, won 6 games last year. We lost 6 games. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like one of those things where just that was the only reason to, like, that's where I grew up. I mean, I went to Millwood from pre-K through 12.
Yeah.
Never left. And so that's home to me. And so to see the program the way that it was, that really bothered me.
Yeah.
And, when it became available, it was like, okay, Toya, you can sit out here at Mustang and continue to talk about it and, watch it go down the drain, or you can bow up and make a difference. Like, you have the opportunity to make that difference. And I feel like I can. And that's the reason I applied. And I told her before I applied. I told her before I even filled out the application. I said, hey, I think I'm applying for the Millwood job. And she was like, really? Are you sure?
It's like your stomach dropped.
This is full circle.
Your stomach drops, and you're like,
I said, yeah. And I just kind of played. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm applying, but I don't think I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
And we had conversations, and I kept her. I didn't leave her in the dark because she's my best friend.
Yeah.
And I tell her everything anyway.
Yeah.
So it ain't one of them things where I was trying to, hide it. And so, yeah, it was, yeah.
How was that for you, hearing that? Because when she said that, I thought about the call that when you called me and you were like, hey, I got this opportunity.
Oh,
Yeah.
when I was about to
And as
leave.
much as I wanted to say no.
Yep. And that's what I did to her, right? So my first response is like, yes, you're going to get this, right? And so you're like your cheerleader, like, you got this. This is your time.
Yeah.
But deep down, you're like, but I don't want you to go. I don't want you to go, you know? So it's like so I'm not kidding. I like texted her probably every day.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? I was like probably annoying her because then on the back end, I know she's going to get it, right? But then, you know, there's that chance, maybe not. But then you have to prepare too. Now for me, I got to find a person to take that spot. But then that's hard too because, you know, when you go into pretty much our job in life every day, I don't have to tell her what I need her to do. She just does it. And so, but, you know, she is, in my opinion, the best to do that job. I think that she can single-handedly change it into the way that, you know, she wants to. And I think that, you know, no matter if it's wins or losses, I feel like she can change the program to be a better program, period. She's the woman for the job, and I have all faith in her. And I guess I'll be going to Millwood games when I'm not coaching, so I can support her. I mean, that will be hard. You know, Tuesdays and Friday nights, you know, game days.
That's the game day.
You know, we get ready together. I mean, it's a whole different, you know, like I said, it's like a divorce. I got to find somebody else to get ready with, I guess. But you know what I mean?
Well, let me tell y'all this.
Right there.
Just
right
my
there.
camera right
Yeah,
here. Let me tell you this.
Right there.
Oh, gosh.
Let me tell you this. Don't get comfortable.
She said that. Don't get comfortable.
Who don't
too
get who?
Whoever.
Okay.
Anybody I hire, she's probably going to be like, that's my person.
That's my best
friend.
You
My
can
best
be
friend.
you can be her assistant, you know, because you need, you know, make sure you win.
Yeah.
But other than that,
That's it.
that's it. That's all you get to do.
That's the thing I love
just
about
saying.
her. She's just my loyal person. She'll always have my back.
Right.
always have my
Listen,
back.
you can't talk about it, but I can.
Yes.
That's one of those.
I'm sorry. Say what?
What'd you say?
Okay.
What'd you say? Hold on. Wait. What?
I literally just sent her a TikTok the other day. It was like,
Oh, yeah. What was that?
I don't know, something about
Best friend.
Something about-
I
yeah.
got your back or something, and I'll fight
Like, what?
anybody or something. I'll fight anybody. And I was just giggling. I'm like, yeah, you are the one.
Yeah. Okay, so looking back over all the girls that y'all have coached, right? All the different stories. What has been one of your favorite moments? And I'm not trying to get y'all in trouble, but because you know if y'all don't say certain
I know,
people, they
don't do
may,
that to us because then they're gonna watch this and say,
yeah.
"Coach, you didn't say my name."
Yeah. But what has been some of the, I guess, some of the most proudest moments when you look back on all the girls that you guys have been able to impact? What has that been like?
I don't want to say because I feel like
I think, like you said, just in general, just continuing to
the
be a
relationships.
part of their
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah.
I literally just went to a wedding over the weekend for a girl that I coached in AAU, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even get to coach. I didn't even help coach her in school
Yeah.
ball. It was just 2 summers, I believe. And she invited me to her wedding. The best wedding, by the way.
Oh yeah, I saw
Like,
the pictures.
oh my
I
God.
know.
This is out of Vogue
Yes.
magazine,
Right? Like the best wedding.
Yes.
But just like you said, not
Yeah.
only being their coach, but being that person that they can call on, you know, after hours.
Yeah.
anytime.
Anytime about any life event. You know, we are one of the calls
Yep.
that our players make. Or just message. So whether it be social media, text message, phone call,
Advice.
just anything. Blessed,
Yeah.
right? Dillingham, when after she crossed,
Yeah.
like she called, like she
That's
FaceTime.
what
Blessed
she-
always
Yeah.
FaceTimes.
Yeah.
First of all, like
Yeah.
Blessed.
I know.
Call.
I hate FaceTime.
Yeah.
I hate it.
But you know, when she crossed and like she was just so excited to
Yeah.
tell me, she was like, Toy, I just wanted to let you know. I know you can't come, but I was like, oh my God. Like
Yeah.
just being able to experience and continue to experience those moments outside of basketball is what makes this job rewarding.
Yeah.
And not everybody gets to do that.
No.
I think, you know, me and her, we have that relationship with our players beyond when they leave our doors.
Yeah.
Like Trey Shell just called me. She knew I was coming to this, and she asked me. And now I'm her daughter's godmom.
Aww.
So I love that. And I got her bracelet that says godmom on it with my name and her name for Easter. You know, I'm always trying, but she called me and asked me to watch her baby. And I was like, well, I got this interview to do, you know, I might. But like she said, like, you know, and it's great because you're coaching them, and it's so great to watch like them as freshmen and then as seniors. Remember when you were a freshman and you didn't like this and this, and they're like, yeah. And it's fun to talk to them as adults, because then they'll be like you said, when I first met you, I couldn't, and now they, you know, love us, and we have these great relationships with them. But we want to have relationships with them,
Yeah.
and I want to be in those moments with you, and that's what it's really about. It really, in my opinion, is those, you know, but. There's always those ones that you're closer to, right?
Yeah.
But you love them all, and you can't reach them all either.
Yeah.
So you have to be okay
with not.
You have to, and it might be somebody else, right? And so like nowadays in coaching with transfer portal and everything else, you have to be okay with letting them go and finding what they think is best for them also.
Yeah.
Coaches leave jobs all the time to get better jobs, and so you can't get mad at your players for feeling like they need to go somewhere else that will benefit them. And you have to just, you know, be happy with the time you had with them, right?
Yeah.
And hope that you made even a little difference.
Yeah. So probably the last question, unless something else is sparked.
Okay. I love that.
Remembering back when you were younger and just experiencing all the young women that you guys have, there's so many things that I think us as women have to deal with, right? And I look at this younger generation and I'm like, what is going on, right? But just looking back on what you had to deal with in your younger years, what would you say to the young women out there today that are fighting with internal battles and struggles and possibly things going on at home that nobody knows about, the silent battles that they're fighting? What would you say to them to encourage them?
To speak, to communicate, to find a person that you can confide in and trust.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is do not do it alone. I think as women, especially like us as single moms and in their career, we feel like we got to do it all on our own. And if we don't, then we're a failure or something. But you got to lean on those people, right? You got to lean on God. I will always say that to help you get through those times. We're not meant to do life alone, right?
Right.
We need each other. We need to find those people, and to be okay with being vulnerable. And being okay with, you know, making mistakes. It's okay. We all do it. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how we become the women that we need to. If we never fail, then we're never, you know, we're never going to get anywhere. Right. So failure is important, but being okay to talk about it, being okay to, you know, cry too. Like I'm the biggest crier. Everybody knows that. I'm okay with that.
I'm surprised you ain't cried. So
I know. I'm really proud of myself. I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I don't know, like, or just remember you're not alone.
Yeah.
And just be proud of yourself. I think the first step in talking and communicating about it is huge strength in itself, right? And just, yeah, be okay with not being okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think the same thing for me would be, you know, having somebody to talk to. And I always tell even my students, right? You don't necessarily you need to find somebody older, right, to talk to.
Yeah.
Because your friends, you know what I'm saying, they're probably going through the same thing.
Right.
And so you want to be able to find somebody that is a little bit older than you, who has seen, who has done, who has heard all the things that you are going through currently, to be able to help you navigate through whatever that you're going through. And I think that's important to, you know, either, you know, be that person for them, or, you know, help them find somebody.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I got an email about 2 weeks ago, for a student that, you know, home life wasn't the best. Home life it was not the best. And the case manager emailed me, really, really long email. And I'm reading this like, okay, was this meant for me? And at the end of the email, it said that, this student really said that I was that person for her while at Mustang
love
High
it.
School. And I'm not a crier,
Yeah.
right? But I really sat at my desk and I was like,
Wow.
wow, wow. Like I was. And it was just one of those things where I would just talk to her. Like, hey, how you doing today?
Yeah.
Or what's wrong with you? Why are you looking like that today? She would come into my room for lunch type deal. And I guess it was just one of those things. In the email, it said that I was her safe space.
That's beautiful.
And yeah, it was.
She's crying now.
Yeah.
You're crying now, girl. You're crying now.
I am, because I don't know. That's kind of what it's all about.
It's true.
Being a teacher and a coach is because they go through so much that we didn't have to go through. So it's I'm gonna stop now.
Ooh,
She got us, didn't
y'all,
she?
we got Toya crying in the
She's
real
cried more in the last
room.
2
Yeah.
weeks than I've seen
I
her.
really have.
And it's been great. I like to say and give that's me. That's my doing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She
I know.
hugs.
Yes,
You know,
now
she cries.
it's all because
It's
of
all
you.
because of me. I know.
Look at that.
I'm just kidding.
No, that's so good. I think it's so important. I think all people need a safe space, right? Everybody needs somewhere or someone that they can talk to. I probably mention therapy every session because I am very clear on the fact that I go to therapy every other Thursday. I missed my session today,
Oh gosh.
but
I'm sorry.
it's neither here. No,
Sorry, we had to reschedule.
no, it wasn't
I
y'all.
know.
It wasn't y'all.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there. But I just think it's important for us to have that safe space and to have somewhere to go and talk to, especially this next generation, because I just feel like it's so much that they dealing with that we don't even know. And the fact that you were able to at least hear that or, read that. Some people don't even get that. Some people don't even get to know the impact that they're leaving on people and how they influence people's lives. So I know that was big for you, especially if you're crying. Listen.
I know, I'm
Listen.
getting soft. in
You
my
are
heart.
getting
Yeah,
soft.
it's
Hey, that's
okay.
good though. That's
It's
good.
okay.
It's good for the
Soft in my
soul.
old age. I need to
Listen.
bring my inner thug
They're
back.
not. I can't. All right. So, what do y'all want to leave with the people? Is there anything, or where can they find you if you want them to find you? All the things.
I don't even know how you find me. What do you mean? Social media?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
Do you do training on the side, or you just focus? Okay, just all the things.
yeah.
Anything.
No, just I don't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know
What you want to leave with the people?
Find value. Find value. Find a purpose, and be proud of it, no matter what it is, what it looks like. Stand in it, and be proud of yourself. So that you can be the next, leader. You never know who you're going to impact also, I always say we're walking testimonies, all of us, of things that we've been through. We need to help the next generation. And I always tell, like, even my seniors right now today in practice, I was like, be the senior you wish you had.
Yeah.
Right? Don't be the one that maybe you didn't want to be. And lead the next generation of girls so that you can, be proud of yourself too. So.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I mean, I got Instagram. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not as amazing as she is.
Yeah,
but
stop.
Right.
You're awesome.
Our Instagram don't be popping like
Yeah,
that.
no, you're big time over here.
Really just, I guess, take the risk is what I would leave. Like I said, you only get one life, right? And so, you owe it to yourself to live the best life possible that you can. Do all the things that you want to do. If you sit on it and sit on your hands, then you'll never get to experience life. And so really just, you owe it to yourself to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Well, ladies, I have said it time and time again, but I publicly thank both of y'all for the impact that you've had on my life, had on my daughter's life, and all the girls' lives that I know of. And so it has been definitely a journey. It has been one that I have been proud to watch y'all from afar. And I've been able to experience just being around y'all and knowing y'all. And it has definitely been a pleasure and a privilege. And so I personally just want to thank you, just for everything that y'all do. And I know sometimes y'all don't hear it, but I want to make sure that y'all know that y'all are appreciated in every shape, form, or fashion that I could even think of. Y'all have been there through some of the hardest times in my life.
Okay,
And my kids' life. And so I thank you. And I know it ain't always been peaches and cream. We ain't always got along. We done bumped heads, but I just truly thank you. And I can't say it enough. So I look forward to getting old with y'all.
Yes.
Going out to eat sometime again.
Sometime. Pencil us in your
sometime,
schedule.
Yes,
right.
I know you're the busy person. We're on summer break now. We got tons of time.
Summer now.
It's time. It's time. So again, thank y'all so much.
Thank
I
you for
appreciate it. I
having
love
us.
y'all.
Thank you for having us. This
Yeah.
was dope.
Listen.
And
This was
letting
dope.
us have a voice, I
I
guess.
love it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we love you. We love you. What you're doing is great. And I watch all your podcasts and I'm like, yes.
Hey.
I've gotten something out of every single one of them.
Thank you.
You're making a difference too. So thank you.
Thank you for that.
Since I am the youngest, right? I always find people, that I watch from afar. I'm a big observer,
Yes.
right? Not a huge talker, but I'm a big observer, and those are the people that I cling to, right? And I look and I listen and I watch. So, like she said, you are killing.
You're killing it.
Everything that you do, and so
You're inspiring a lot of people.
you are. I mean,
Girl.
I don't even watch podcasts, and I watch it.
I know.
Like,
I don't have time.
I can't
I'm like,
sit
God, this
in
is
one
long.
space and watch. Yeah,
No.
I can't do that.
But I
do
yours.
because you the bomb.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
are.
Keep being the bomb.
Yes.
Thank you.
We love you.
I am the bomb.
You are, girl.
Okay?
Keep telling yourself that. Keep telling yourself that.
Oh my God. All right. Again, thank y'all. And listen, take the risk. Know that there are people out there that love you. There are places that you can go to that can be your sacred place. And it takes a village. We can't do this alone. We can't raise the next generation. We can't educate. We can't empower. We can't encourage them alone. And so let's lock arms. Let's do the work. And just be kind to people because you never know what they're going through. Until the next time, see you in the real room.